Dear graduates, we are going to start the event in a few seconds from now. I request all of you to take your standing positions at the end. Can you please go as per order from the last row? A sincere request to all the other attendees here to put your mobile phones in silent mode. This entire event is going to be for 1 hour and 20 minutes. Your cooperation is highly required to conduct the event in a successful manner. I request all of you to please sit back, relax and watch your wards getting the certificates on stage. And you are requested not to leave the hall in between. Kindly cooperate. Two in a row, please. Take positions. Dignitaries are going to join you in the march and walk towards
Invocation.
நீராறும் கடலுடுத்த நிலமடந்த கிணிதொழுகும் சீராறும் வதனமென திகழ் பரத கண்டமெதில் தெக்கனமும் அதிசிறந்த திராவிடன திருநாடும் தக்க சிறு பிறை நுதரும் தரித்தனரும் திலகமுமே அத்திலக வாசனை போல் அனைந்துலகும் இன்பமுற ஏற்றி செய்யும் புகழ் மணக்க இறந்த பெரும் தமிழரங்கே தமிழரங்கே உன் சீரினமை திரும்பி அந்த செயல் மறந்து வாழ்த்ததுமே வாழ்த்ததுமே வாழ்த்ததுமே.
Light lamping is a symbol of our tradition to begin any event. I now request the dignitaries on the dais to please light the lamp on the stage.
I invite the Dean, DJ Academy of Design, to deliver the welcome address and to present the report on the academic achievements of the Institute.
Respected Chief Guest, Guest of Honor, members of the Governing Council, trustees, faculty members, parents, distinguished guests, and most importantly, our graduating students, warm greetings to everyone. It gives me immense pleasure and pride to present annual report of DG Academy of Design for the academic year 25 and 26. This year has been a significant one for DJ Academy of Design as we continued our commitment to nurturing designers who are creative, curious, responsible, and prepared to engage with the changing needs of the society and industry. Today, as we celebrate our graduates, we are also proud to acknowledge the journey of our graduating cohorts from 2021 to 2026. DJAD has had the privilege of nurturing students across its undergraduate and postgraduate programs. Among the cohort of 110 graduates and graduates, 60 are attending this event in person and 50 of them in absentia. The students have successfully completed their programs are present today to receive their degrees. The academic year 25-26 was marked by a rich range of learning experiences beyond the classroom. Our students participated in city talks, bringing them into conversations with professionals and practitioners and thought leaders from creative industries. Campus talks provided opportunities to engage directly with distinguished designers and industry experts and to understand contemporary practices and emerging directions in design. Learning also extended beyond the campus through industrial visits and field visits, enabling the students to observe the real-world processes, understand materials, technologies, production systems, and social context, and connect classroom learnings with professional practice. An important highlight of the academic year was a series of end-of-course exhibitions where students presented their works and demonstrated their development in research, ideation, experimentation, and making of the communication devices. These exhibitions showcase not merely finished outcomes, but also the design processes, explorations, and learning journeys behind them. You may all visit the students' work exhibition at the ground floor after this event. Together, these initiatives have strengthened our endeavor to provide an education that balances creative thinking, design practice, contextual understanding, and industry exposure. I would like to place on record my sincere appreciation to our faculty members, staff, visiting professionals, industry partners, parents, and above all, our students whose commitment and enthusiasm have made these academic experiences meaningful. To our graduating students, today marks not an end, but a beginning of a new chapter. Carry with you the spirit of curiosity, empathy, experimentation, and responsibility that defines a designer. On behalf of DJ Academy of Design, I congratulate all our graduates and graduates and wish them success as they step into the world as confident and responsible design professionals. Thank you and congratulations to the graduates and graduates. Thank you.
This convocation of the DG Academy of Design has been called on to confer the degrees in the departments of Industrial Design and Communication Design upon the candidates who appeared in the examinations held for the purpose have been certified to be worthy of the same. I invite the guest of honor, Padma Bhushan, Sri Rajiv Sethi, and India's foremost designer, scenographer, cultural activist, and art curator to deliver the special address.
If I don't have notes, I can go on and on and on. It's always a good idea. Come, quickly. Here we are. See here. Graduating students, proud parents, respected faculty, Vice Chancellor Dr. G. Ravi, Dean Vaidyanathan Ramaswamiji, my dear friend Sanjay Jayavardhan Veluji, and Dr. Lalita. I have stood on this podium, not this one, but at the place where they started the school, DJ's School of Design before, and felt a deep sense of gratitude. On my first visit, I was told that the building to house the design school would not be a mere campus. It would be a tangible place with a space for simulation, reflection, argument, and growth. A sanctuary where ideas are tested against the reality of what is happening out there, bridging the hiatus between education and the world around. Many of you gathered here today are our Humsafars in the making. You will go on to shape spaces, systems, and imaginations. And before you do, I want to offer you not advice, but a set of questions. Questions that have followed me for most of my working life. Let me begin with the most fundamental one. The question of modernity. It's identity, indigenuity, the crisis of who we are. What does it mean to be contemporary, here and now? For decades, we have repeated a curious ritual. First, we declare Westernization to be international. Then we struggle to indigenize it, to make it speak our climate, our materials, our histories. This is not merely an architectural dilemma. It is a civilizational one, because contemporaneity is not a date, it's not a style, it's not something you import or fit into. It's an evolving condition of consciousness. From each culture, each community, family, each individual must define what now means to them. And yet, we live in a homogenized world where data behaves the same way everywhere, where algorithms flatten differences, where options appear infinite, but real choices quietly disappear or shrink. So the question is not whether change is inevitable. It is. The real question is who decides the direction of our change. Is it reflective intelligence or impatience masquerading as progress? This is where identity becomes an issue. Not identity as nostalgia, but identity as pehchan. It's an Urdu word, but there is no real English word to define pehchan. Knowing who we are working for, what we must preserve, and when we must courageously let go. I often use a term to describe making, doing, and being. When does this equation fall out of balance? How does architecture slip, design slip, and society slips with it? So I urge you to not borrow certainty. Being tentative and vulnerable is natural. Ask instead, is this grounded? Is this truthful, authentic? Because a contemporary is not something you imitate. It is something you invent or at least arrive at. And yet, identity alone is not enough. To know who we are, we must also ask, how do we feel our way through the world? This brings me to something we rarely name, but instantly recognize when it is missing. Rasa. Rasa is not decoration. It's not style. It's not taste in the fashionable sense. Rasa is a cumulative essence of being alive. It is what moves you before logic arrives, what stays after explanation leaves. I myself have reached a point where I no longer respond to art or design that does not move me. If it leaves me untouched, if it leaves me unconvinced, and yet rasa is not taught, not in a design studio, not in architectural curricula. I hope I'm incorrect about your institute, and you have been through various sessions understanding its practical and other implications, but it's not in systems obsessed with outcomes and novelty. This is the crisis. In an age of speed and access, the process loses its significance. I say often, basti basna khel nahi hai, baste baste basti hai. It settles while settling. The process defines the entire search. Jigyasa, a capacity for anubhuti, deep, shared experience, that shrinks. As Gandhiji used to say, speed is of no use when you're running in the wrong direction. Artificiality replaces authenticity. More replaces meaning. And as needs merge with greed, the derivative becomes original. So rasa demands a sense of occasion, attention, presence, and slowness. Slowness. Dheere dheere re mana, dheere sab kuch hot hai. Mali siiche 100 ghade, ritu aaye to phool hovat hai. We can keep watering the plants, but the flowers will only happen when the season comes. Slow, steady, now has many takers, slow fashion, slow travel, slow many things. It cannot be automated. It cannot be scaled without loss. It lives in the space between attention and action, between form and feeling. So as you step into practice, do not distrust emotion. Do not apologize for intuition. AI is not there still, might get there. Because rasa does not oppose reason, it completes it. And in a world becoming increasingly efficient, your ability to feel may be your most radical act. Feeling, however, must find form. Rasa must enter the world through making, doing, and being, as I said. Which brings me to the ethics of what we build. Architecture, craft, and the ethics of making. Every building we raise, every object we design, carries consequences far beyond form. The very act of building begins with destruction. Soil, water, air. In fact, one of my dear friends, Gautam Bhatia, suggests that the earth has been overbuilt. Can we avoid building altogether? I know if you're product designers, you probably don't have to face the same burden as architects. We're always questioning what we are destroying. Architecture is never neutral. And architecture features endure beyond nostalgia. When you give through, for example, gaze through a jali, step into a jharoka, rest beneath a chhatri, or pass through a mehrab, as we look up to a kurikattu roof, or trace our eyes and fingers, stone the contours of a Pallava, Chola, Chera, Hoysala column, you encounter intelligence shaped by climate, craft, time, and a way of seeing. These are not nostalgic forms. They are ethical responses. And yet, in our hunger for novelty and often mistaken decoration for meaning, we imitate without belonging. This is how kitsch, it's a word you can look up later, is born. Across this country exist lineages of profound knowledge. There are Sthapatis, there are Sompuras, there are Mahapatras, there are Ramgariyas, from where I come. And yet many today are pushed to the margins not because their wisdom is obsolete, but because we failed to imagine a space for it. Would the anonymous and intimidated castes of Charis and Musaris and Santaraj and Vishwakarmas, never been to the university, be forced to switch their profession? Or should architects, interior designers, public work contractors reflect on their neglect of traditional resources? Traditional knowledge systems using mud, wood, bamboo, and stone are absent from local engineering codes. And contracting norms of our booming building industry, while GOI guidelines that I've been very forceful about in most forums that I attend, mandates that 2% of building costs be reserved for arts and crafts. I made the Mumbai airport, which some of you may have heard about or seen on the net, the entire art program by tom-tomming this order to my patrons and saying this is what they have to do. I didn't have to do that with Sanjay and his father when they were generous enough to have asked me to come and work with them on their headquarters. I don't know whether it was 2%, but I hope it was more. But anyway, of art and craft belonging to their environment, and I'm sure they don't regret it. So craft is not an ornament. It's intelligence embedded in material and structure. Real innovation does not discard the past. It translates it. So ask yourself, does what I make create dignity? Does it create work? Does it create continuity? Because development that is jobless, voiceless, rootless is most definitely futureless. Find out what is factor 4. I can't tell you now, but look it up when you go into your phones. Factor 4. Analyze what is not development at that. You learn a lot more about carbon footprints, etc. All of this identity, rasa, ethics, ultimately passes through one extraordinary instrument. Please look at this hand. Look at your own hands. Raise them. Students, raise your hands. Okay? Now what you can do here, actually monkeys have long palms because they have to hang on to branches. But we did not think first and then make. We made and coherence followed our evolution from being simians. No one can do this. This universal joint has allowed us to really connect. And at the tip of each finger are millions of neurons directly connected to the brain. The equilibrium between the eye, the mind, and the spirit is managed by the tips of the finger. And today, that equilibrium is breaking. Speed is mistaken for intelligence. The tactile is disappearing. Few play in the rain. Few shape clay. Few doodle without purpose. This is the real crisis. The de-skilling of the human being. Although many skill programs are there, but I've argued that in many, many fronts, whether they're really skills, as we know, or is adding more to the de-skilling. Look at, and when I say that, I say, when we were really boasting about the tech, and I believe in tech, I'm not a Luddite, but when you see countries like England and Netherlands ban the use of phones till you're 15 years old, then we realized, because just the other day at the airport, when I was coming in, there was a parent very proudly showing me how his 2 years old could use the phone effectively, but yet this is happening in our lifetime. We are proud of what we've achieved. We're proud of what we're doing. At the same time, countries who've known better are banning things that can take away a lot of your life skills. So I ask you, acquire at least one hand skill. Keep something no one can snatch away. One day of skill is worth a year of unskilled time. दस्तकार ए दरिया काबिलों की उम्र बढ़ जाती है. काबिल, people और हुनरमंद की उम्र बढ़ जाती है. खुद कर लो हिसाब. हुनरमंद का एक दिन the man with a skill of his one day is equal to a year of that has not acquired a skill. Behunar ka ek saal. Today the question returns with urgency. What is handmade? Will it survive? How is it urgent for India? We must make handmade an exclusive Indian brand. Handmade is not just a thing or product. It is a philosophy and a way of being and seeing. It is a touch of human intuition, the quiet dialogue between skill and soul, something no machine can ever replicate. As I said, develop that pehchan. Learn to recognize the real handmade from the fakes that are everywhere, whether it's handloom or it is crafts. Almost 90% of what we now get in government emporias are all fakes. We don't even know who they built. It is not servicing that sector that kept our heritage alive for so many years. Remember, the hand is a irreplaceable language. We can acquire the eloquence of a gesture, and I often show this to my group of students wherever I talk. It's diversity. Show me, kids, come on, raise your hands. Diversity, connectivity, empowerment, positioning, conservation, conserving, and peace, the Abhay Mudra. If you apply it to anything, you will find, I will later tell you about South Asia. Rich with its unique language of Hasta Mudras and dance, plain speak, or prayers, our subcontinent continues to be the most hand-centric region in the world. Although rapidly de-skilling, most villages are still capable of making something with their hands that the world wants. The world wants. But no one has made any commitment to the sector seriously. Skill alone is not enough. It must be guided by responsibility. My next query is about the role of compassion and social responsibility in education. Have you ever wondered who really paid for your studies here? 25 naya paisa being spent on your education is coming from the pocket of a man whose child may not see the inside of a school. So remember the gifting process. Compassion must rule. We need to re-examine the context we live in. We need education to meet the needs of our country. And that's real education. Will teach us how to reach out, how we must apply our learning here to benefit our society as a whole. Education, therefore, is not a private victory for you and your family. It's a public trust. Compassion is not charity. It's a context. Ask yourself again and again, who does my education serve? Carry your learning lightly, but use it generously. Because the true measure of education is not how far you go, but how many you carry with you. My next question, therefore, is about the limitation of digital learning I talked about. And I think I've been greatly talking about transdisciplinarity. I was a jack of all. I did theater, I did dance, I did music, I did architecture, I did quite easily. So collaborations were important. Teamwork and collective intelligence was very critical. We think that technology is making us independent. What we are really losing is the real value of interdependence. Life does not arrive in disciplines. It arrives whole. Architecture, dance, music, poetry are all connected. The Jains call it Jivadaya, interdependence of life. Everything connects, was my mentor Charles Eames' message more than 50 years ago. But long before, more than 1,000 years ago, the Vishnu Dharmottara Puran, an exchange between the sage Markandeya. One must know dance. Dance is possible only through music, and poetry, therefore, is essential. All the senses come together. So I implore you, my dear Sanjay Angios, now that your school must expand to include all the senses. really like Shantiniketan was created for the university, where all the arts came together. They will help each other much, much more than we as faculty can. It's a evolving learning process. My next thing is evoking feminine energy. Let me now speak about a form of power we often misunderstand and therefore often suppress. The feminine principle. In our tradition, the word prakriti is revealing. Pri means excellent, kriti means creation. So prakriti is not secondary creation, it is excellent creation. I can go on long, but I have a limitation of time. To evoke feminine energy is not to speak only of gender. It's not a slogan. It's not a posture. Balancing the woman within is more than being a feminist. I did a big play in the National Center of Performing Arts 30 years ago called The Hidden River. And it is the empowerment at its most subtle. It is becoming secure with the feminine in each of us, that hidden river, flowing quietly beneath the hard rock or stereotype of gender. The feminine is intuitive. It is austere. It improvises. It values common sense over control. It knows when to hold, when to adapt, when to let go. So I ask, who will help artists and designers activate the right side of the brain again? Who will help us reclaim intuition in a world obsessed with metrics? Because creativity does not emerge only from dominance and assertion. It also emerges from listening, from restraint, from care. Our mothers understood this principle very instinctively. Like Bapu, they were great designers, all of them, conserving, reusing, optimizing limited resources. They practiced sustainability long before it became a discipline. They designed as if there was no tomorrow. And perhaps that is the mindset we need again, doing more and more with less. Call it cost-free, cost-conscious jugaad if you want. Factor 4, as I talked about, and living intelligently within carbon footprints and constraints. This is not a compromise, this is wisdom. Though I seek, amongst the last few points, seek spiritual resonance. Let me end this through thought by turning inward. To do any of this, to make, to care, to create, you, the future generations of our collective soul, must remain connected to a deeper sense of being. Creative action needs meaning, and meaning does not always come from logic alone. In the realm of the spirit, 2 + 2 is never 4. There is shunya, emptiness that is full. What the Sufis call fana, zikr, the dissolving of the self into something larger. When we force creativity to exist without a spiritual dimension, whether religion or not, we devalue inspiration itself. And when inspiration is diminished, both our material and emotional worlds shrink, suffer. Across history, the most enduring works in architecture, music, literature, dance, art have emerged from this invisible presence, the quiet dialogue with the intangible, sukshma. And that equation has not changed. So whatever path you choose, leave space for silence, for wonder, for something beyond measurement. Because it is often there that the deepest creativity resides. Sangat, very important, as one recommends timing and slow creation and a sense of occasion. I must also speak about teamwork. Bina bhedi bahar mat batko. Sangat is as critical. Vastu theek paije jab bhedi lijo saath. If you don't have somebody who's discerning, you are never going to be able to learn. Move with them. You must trust your intuition too, but always gather companions who know. Change your companion wisely. Surround yourself, choose your companions wisely. Don't change, but choose. Surround yourself with those who challenge you, who argue well, who listen deeply. Collective intelligence is not about consensus, it's about resonance. Your great strength will not be what you know alone and what you're about to build together. So last amongst the last is being fearless. Let me now speak about courage. We saw lately your generation taking courage to another level. Not to the loud kind, not bravado, not the quiet, but the quiet courage to live with difference. Becoming who we are must make room for many imagined realities and identities. To be Indian is not to be uniform. It is to be plural. And what plurality demands, that we become the less insecure of the so-called other. For over 3 decades, I've tried to enlarge my own lens towards what I call South Asian synergy, in a neighborhood that is fraught with trouble. Because much of who I am, indeed who we are, lives in the same house with different rooms like Karachi, Dhaka, Kabul, Kathmandu, Thimphu, Rangoon, Colombo. We share histories, wounds, languages, dreams, through exhibitions and festivals, cross-border collaborations that I've done over the last 60 years. I've seen how culture does what politics often cannot. We are negotiating, where negotiations fail, dialogues through art begin. So far, and I say so far, our region has survived because we know how to argue, to listen, to keep talking. If we lose that skill, our subcontinent would erupt, making conflicts elsewhere look like a children's quarrel. Remember this, with nearly 40% of the world's poor, we're also one of the most militarized regions on earth. And fear keeps it that way. That is why color, art, creativity, culture is not a luxury. It is a necessity. Creativity makes us fearless of the so-called other. It teaches tolerance, respect for plurality, and the courage to imagine peace. What culture can do, politics only speaks about. So diplomats negotiate, artists act. So I can tell you many stories, but this is not the time or for me right now. So whatever you go, carry this fearlessness with you, because the future will not be shaped by those who shout the loudest, but by those who can imagine a shared tomorrow. And I close my thing with a metaphor I hold very dear. Kasturi kundali base, mriga dhunde ban mahi. We are like a musk deer, searching frantically in the forest for a fragrance that already lies within us. We sit thirsty beside the river, hungry beneath a fruit-laden tree, clenching our seeds, afraid to let them fall. Remember that no seed is ever shy of germination. No fruit clings to the tree when ripe. And when it falls, it doesn't rot if the ground is fertile. Trust the ground you stand on. Trust what you carry within you. I wish you courage. I wish you compassion. I wish you a life making that leaves the world more human than you found it. Congratulations, and welcome to the work ahead.
Thank you, sir, for your highly motivating, inspiring, and thought-provoking speech. Now I welcome our chief guest, respected Honorable Vice Chancellor of Alagappa University, Professor G. Ravi. Welcome, sir.
அனைவருக்கும் என்னுடைய இனிய மாலை வணக்கம். Revered guest of honor, Padma Bhushan Sri Rajiv Sethi, Chairman and founder of Asian Heritage Foundation, New Delhi, respected Chairman of the Governing Council of DJ Academy of Design, Mr. Sanjay, Distinguished Managing Trustee of GKD Charity Trust, Dr. Lalita Devi Sanjay, Dean of DJ Academy of Design, Learned Professor Vaidyanathan, distinguished heads of the departments, learned faculty members, efficient administrative staff, parents of the new graduates, my dear new graduates, friends from the present media, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening to one and all present here. At the outset, I thank the Chairman of the Governing Council, the Managing Trustee, and the Dean for having invited me to the first graduation day of DJ Academy of Design. It is a collaborative institution of Alagappa University. This makes me doubly happy to be in your midst on this happy occasion. As you know, Alagappa University is the A++ graded university. That's the category 1 university. So Alagappa University is the only university in Tamil Nadu who is having that status, that is A++ under dual mode. Alagappa University is the state university. As you know, Alagappa University is the state university. Alagappa, that is Alagappa Chettiar, who has donated more than 1,000 acres of land along with the complete infrastructure during 1940s and 1950s. So the present value of the entire donation he has made to the government, it comes around nearly 1 lakh crore. So when he was dying, at that time he stayed only just a very small room, that is a 10 by 10 size room. Even he has donated his own house for the sake of education. So that too, to establish women's college at Kottayur. So at present, Alagappa University is having more than 13,000 research publications in highly reputed international journals with the highest citation of 160,000 citations. So that's what Alagappa University has got. That is best cited university in India. That credential was given by Clarivate. So I am happy to state that Coimbatore has secured a very important place on India's industrial map with more than 25,000 industrial establishments contributing to the nation's economy and sustainable lakhs of people. I am glad to note that this DJ Academy of Design is part of the GK Charity Trust. The very utterance of the name Dr. GK Devarajulu brings to our mind a visionary industrialist whose contribution to the industrial growth of Coimbatore is immense. Son of Thiru Kuppusamy Naidu, a king among the cotton merchants of Coimbatore, Devarajulu and his brother G.K. Sundaram inherited the business acumen of the family. Lakshmi Group of companies stand tall today among the industrial ventures of Coimbatore region. Lakshmi Mills, Textrol, South India Viscose, and Lakshmi Machine Works speaks of the entrepreneurial genius of the members of the well-known family. Kuppusamy Naidu Memorial Hospital is yet another successful venture of the family. I am glad to note that as a successful member of the industrial family, Mr. Sanjay has committed himself to create a meaningful and positive impact on society. Understanding the need for skilled manpower for fast developing India, the state and central governments initiated many programs at the tune of the new millennium. Mr. Sanjay, aware of the situation, pursued the idea of starting an institution for training students in designing, planning, and designing are indeed at the base of any enterprise. Mr. Sanjay established this institution in 2004 in a vast area of 23 acres of land on the outskirts of Coimbatore. The ultra-modern academy was designed and constructed with the help of great architects of India. Anyone will find this aesthetically appealing green and clean ambience a fine place for study and contemplation. The very vastness of the campus with its rich infrastructural facilities point to the labor of love that has gone into the creation of this institute. The founders deserve our praise for establishing such a beautiful campus. I am glad to learn that the vision of the institution is to create a meaningful and positive impact on society through education, and its mission is to offer a future-oriented to design education and to build a strong and robust foundation through effective teaching and by providing relevant facilities and environment so as to elevate the current practices in the field of design. The natural landscapes, ultra-modern studios, and other facilities are offered to foster curiosity, collaboration, and growth among the learners. In short, the founders believe in the transformative power of design education. As a result, the institution offers high-quality, affordable design education relevant to the ever-evolving needs of the global design industry. The academy has grown like a healthy banyan tree, providing a vibrant learning environment for enthusiastic youth with creative faculty members and a state-of-the-art infrastructure. I also learned it gives a rigorous curriculum that prepares younger men and women to face challenges and succeed in an ever-changing dynamic world. By collaborating with the renowned institutions like Alagappa University and the Indian Design Institutes Alliance, the Academy provides the learners with globally recognized qualifications and valuable industry connections. It is recognized by the top global design institutes. It deserves our encomium. Graduation Day is a major academic event in the calendar of an educational institution. It is an important landmark in a student's career who devoted a few precious years in pursuit of knowledge. On this great occasion, I congratulate all those who are obtaining their degrees. The degree in your hands symbolizes your hopes and aspirations for a glorious life. Graduation is not the end of a tough journey, but the beginning of a beautiful journey with promises for a bright future. My dear graduates, your parents, by their great sacrifices, have enabled you to become graduates. They gave everything to you to make you a graduate, and they gave good advice and put you on the right path, but proving your good character lies in your hands. It is an apt time to show your gratitude to your parents. You must reciprocate their unconditional love showered on you through your services to your parents. Your education and higher degree will open enormous opportunities for you in this vast world, provided you keenly look for them. I would also like to congratulate the learned faculty who have worked hard with their students and enriched them with the wealth of knowledge, skills, technologies, and moral values to make them capable of serving the society and humanity at large. Education helps one to lead a life of harmony with all existing things. My dear graduates, today you are not simply receiving a degree, you are receiving recognition for a bright journey. You are also accepting a responsibility. That's why a graduation ceremony is both a celebration and a beginning. Kindly remember that we are living in an extraordinary period of development and transformation. Technology is changing the way we communicate, work, learn, manufacture, and interact with one another. Artificial intelligence is transforming creative industries. Digital platforms are changing consumer behavior Sustainability is reshaping the way products are conceived and produced. Urbanization is changing the way people live, and globalization has brought different cultures, ideas, and markets closer than ever before. In such a world, design has acquired a significance that goes far beyond aesthetics. Design is not simply about making something beautiful. Design is about understanding people. Design is about identifying problems. Design is about asking questions. Design is about imagining possibilities. Design is about creating solutions that are useful, meaningful, responsible, and sustainable. A designer, therefore, needs more than technical skill. A designer needs curiosity. A designer needs empathy. A designer needs observation. A designer needs imagination and creativity. And above all, a designer needs the courage to ask, can this be done differently? This question has driven some of the greatest innovations in human history. Every important invention began with somebody questioning the existing way of doing something. Every meaningful social innovation began with somebody noticing a problem that others had ignored. Every great design began with somebody imagining the possibility that did not yet exist. That is the spirit I want each of you to carry with you today. To survive in this competitive world, you must develop the ability to learn, relearn, and upskilling your talents. My dear graduating students, your degree is only a foundation. It tells the world that you have undergone a disciplined process of education and that you have acquired a particular body of knowledge and skills. But what you do with the knowledge is entirely up to you. Continue reading, continue observing, continue experimenting, continue asking questions, continue meeting people from different disciplines, continue learning from people who disagree with you, continue learning from your mistakes, and never lose your curiosity. The moment a designer stops being curious, the creative journey begins to decline. The world will constantly challenge you with new problems. Your ability to respond to those problems will depend on your interest to continue learning as a professional. One of the greatest strengths of design education is that design does not exist in isolation. Communication design interacts with the technology, psychology, culture, and business. Industrial design interacts with engineering, manufacturing, material science, and sustainability. User experience design interacts with the computing, human behavior, and cognitive science. Animation and filmmaking interact with storytelling, technology, visual culture, and communication. Interior design interacts with architecture, materials, human behavior, and environmental concerns. The programs offered at this academy reflect this diversity. Before concluding, I would like to give a piece of advice to the young people. If you are really serious to scale greater heights in your career, concentrate on physical and mental health. Avoid all addictions and especially screen addiction, which is a modern disease. Meditation, yoga, physical exercise are panacea for curing all shortcomings of the body and the mind. I greatly care of myself and hence I have the privilege to tell you this. Dear graduates, you are entering a world where digital screens are deeply woven into everyday life. Technology has undoubtedly empowered us with instant access to information, communication, and opportunities. However, excessive and uncontrolled screen usage has silently emerged as one of the most serious challenges in our time. Screen addiction affects attention span, mental health, sleep patterns, relationships, and even the ability to think deeply and independently. When screens begins to replace real conversations, real learning, and real experiences, education loses its human essence. Studies have shown that excessive screen time leads to anxiety, reduced concentration, emotional fatigue, and social isolation, especially among young adults. Please take it seriously. It is the bounden duty of the graduates to stay connected with their alma mater and help for its development. It is a real reciprocation of gratitude to the institution which nurtured your talents. I quote Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, our former President of India, "We are all born with a divine fire within us. Our efforts should be to give wings to this fire and fill the world with the glow of its goodness." So I'd like to tell you that the many people, they were struggling a lot during their young age. For example, I can say many examples. So Albert Einstein, of course, he was a very close scientist to me as a physicist. So I can tell you that what Einstein has done. So till he reached the age of 8, he was unable to speak. And later, so what he did, of course, he has did a marvelous innovations and inventions. So the theory of special theory of relativity and photoelectricity. So many things he has done. And similarly, Thomas Alva Edison. So Thomas Alva Edison, when he was going to the school, he was criticized by his own teacher, saying that he was mentally handicapped. Then later his mother took him to his house, and he had a private coaching. Then in the later stage, so he has produced more than 1,000 patents. So the invention of that electric bulb. So everything was done by great scientists. So the beginning, everyone is struggling. But if you have hard work with perseverance, so no one can stop your future. So with these words, I conclude my address, and I invite you to live with passion and enjoy this life, whatever be the circumstances, giving the best of yourself. And I wish you all the best in your life and career. Thank you very much. Nandri, Vanakkam. Let the candidates be now presented.
Respected Vice Chancellor, I present to you the list of candidates from the Master of Design and Bachelor of Design in Communication Design and Industrial Design who graduated in the year 2021 to 2026. Shri Krishna K.S. MDes Communication Design 2021 passed out. Arvind V, MDes Communication Design 2022 passed out. Aditi E.V. George, BDes Communication Design 2023 passed out. Sajani Sadasivam, BDes Communication Design 2023. Sridevi Gopalakrishna, BDes Communication Design 2023. Anushobana R.S., BDes Industrial Design 2023. Jagadishan V, BDes Industrial Design 2023. Karthik Balaji A.S., BDes Industrial Design 2023. Krupaya Vishwas Rahati, BDes Industrial Design 2023. Kushi T, BDes Industrial Design 2023. Divyatashni S, BDes Industrial Design 2023. Abhimanyu Salil, BDes Communication Design 2024. Adit Nandan B, BDes Communication Design 2024. Annie Merrill, BDes Communication Design 2024. Apu Srivastava, BDes Communication Design 2024. Gayatri Manoj, BDes Communication Design 2024. Nitin Raghavendra B, BDes Communication Design 2024. Shruti Swaminathan, BDes Communication Design 2024. R. Vivekanandan, BDes Communication Design 2024. K. Abhinav, BDes Industrial Design 2024. S. Ashwini, BDes Industrial Design 2024. Bashir Wasiullah K, BDS Industrial Design 2024. Bragadishwar G, BDS Industrial Design 2024. Hani Abdul Rahman, BDS Industrial Design 2024. B. Kaushik Krishna, BDS Industrial Design 2024. Rahim Mustafa Moiz, BDS Industrial Design 2024. Sambit Das, BDS Industrial Design 2024. Shakti Monesh Hariharan, BDS Industrial Design 2024. Shruti Ramnath, BDS Industrial Design 2024. Srishti Subhash, BDS Industrial Design 2024. Chodabattula Bhargav Ram, BDS Communication Design 2025. Nisi Esther Shintala, BDS Communication Design 2025. Asman Abdul Karim Arakal, BDS Communication Design 2025. Nikhilan Tangavelu, BDS Communication Design 2025. Nivedita Kamath, BDS Communication Design 2025. M. Ramakrishnan, BDS Communication Design 2025. V. Sahitya, BDS Communication Design 2025. R. Sai Harish, BDS Communication Design 2025. Samyukta Raghuveer, BDS Communication Design 2025. CP Sushmita Nair, BDS Communication Design 2025. Venkatakrishna B, BDS Communication Design 2025. Vikasini M, BDS Communication Design 2025. Shara Maheshwari V, BDS Communication Design 2025. PL Akhileshwaran, BDS Industrial Design 2025. Northern Grace, BDS Industrial Design 2025. Pannaga Bhatt B, BDS Industrial Design 2025. Samyukta Naya S, BDS Industrial Design 2025. Sridevi Nayanar KK, BDS Industrial Design 2025. Vaishnavi Jagan, BDS Industrial Design 2025. Sunanda Venkat, BDS Communication Design 2026. Darshini Kadirvelan, BDS Communication Design 2026. Vishnu Shishir J, BDS Communication Design 2026. Anushka Pati, BDS Communication Design 2026. Deepthi M. Naya, BDS Communication Design 2026. Antara Ramesh Naya, BDS Communication Design 2026. Advika M, BDS Communication Design 2026. Annie Salim, BDS Industrial Design 2026. R. Vaishnavi, BDS Industrial Design 2026. Rohan J. Palikal, BDS Industrial Design 2026. Savan Sudhi, BDS Industrial Design 2026. And 50 more candidates in absentia from the Department of Industrial Design and Communication Design. Thank you.
Let the candidates stand and take the pledge. We shall, please repeat. We shall, in thought, word, and deed, ever endeavor to be scrupulously honest in the discharge of our duties in our profession, and shall uphold the dignity, unity, and the integrity of our profession and the honor of our university. we shall uphold and advance social order and the well-being of our fellow citizens and shall devote all our energy to promote the unity, integrity, and the secular ideals of our country. So you need not to repeat. By virtue of the authority vested in me as Vice Chancellor of the Alagappa University, I admit you to the degrees both in person and in absentia in the Department of Industrial Design and Communication Design, for which you have been declared qualified in this university, and in token thereof you have been presented with these degrees, and I authorize you to wear the robes ordained as the insignia of your degrees. Let the candidates be seated. I dissolve this convocation.
Thank you. It's now time to honor our Honorable Vice Chancellor and the guest of honor, Padma Bhushan Shri Rajiv Sethi ji. Now I request our CMD sir to hand over a token of appreciation on behalf of the DJAD to Rajiv Sethi sir. Now our trustee madam will present a token of appreciation to the Honorable Vice Chancellor of Alagappa University, Professor Ravi sir. Thank you so much.
National anthem.
जनगणमन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्छल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मागे गाहे तव जय गाता जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Audience, please be seated until the dignitaries leave the stage.
ಅಣ್ಣ ಇದು